Good morning, everyone. It's Elsie. Okay, so it's starting to get hot here in Florida, and some of you in Vermont are probably starting to have great weather. So I'm happy for you and sad for me. Sometimes I come up for long periods of time in the summer to Vermont. Well, last year I went to Albany, but I am probably not doing that this year because it gets really expensive. I used to come up and stay with my dad who lived in Wallingford, but he has since passed away. So I miss coming up and staying with him and being able to see my sisters a lot during the summer. So, okay, this is interesting because I was doing this last night and it was pretty dark in here, and I kept holding it away from me so that I could see what it looked like. So I've started restitching this pink over here and in single strand, and I think it is coming out well. Looking at it from back here, it actually is going quicker than I thought it was going to. So I still haven't decided whether I'm going to unstitch the black or not. The black does look really, really bold. I do like that about it. So I might just keep it. It's just going to be a lot of floss. I don't think I bought enough in retrospect, in hindsight. So yeah, so that's coming along well. I don't think I've worked in single strand before. It definitely, I leave a longer tail when I start my stitch because I'm worried about it wiggling out. But other than that, it's going along really well. So then I also worked on, and I'll tell you a funny story. While I was working on these last night, my cat, so we have a thing here called a palmetto bug, and it's basically like one huge cockroach. Unlike German cockroaches or the little tiny cockroaches, you don't get like a whole army of them, which is great. You usually just see like maybe one at a time. And they live somewhere under the floor of my apartment, and they come out in the bathroom under the floorboard. But my cat stalks them. And so she's got this supersonic hearing, and she'll just suddenly be sitting here with me and perk up and then run in the bathroom. And then sometimes she will come out of the bathroom with a palmetto bug in her mouth. And I'm not joking. She will go over to one of my shoes and drop it in my shoe. So I'm always just like, you're such an asshole. A couple times she's actually killed it in my shoe, and I've put my foot in my shoe. But usually she puts it in my shoe and then she'll play with it. She'll stick her paw in my shoe and eventually it will crawl out of my shoe. But last night the one she had was very big and high energy, and I could just hear her playing with it because she was kind of in the shadows of the room, and she was chasing it all around, and I don't know what happened to it actually. So there is probably somewhere still alive or dead in my apartment a giant cockroach that I will find someday, or it will find me. I'm just glad that they can actually fly, and none of them have ever flown in my apartment. They've crawled up the wall before, but if they were flying in my apartment, that'd be terrifying, and I might have to fill in those spaces under the floorboard. But honestly, it's nice for Libby to have something to play with once in a while because she doesn't like. I bought her a little moving cockroach once, and she had no interest in it. She really likes live prey. So anyway, that's what was happening last night, and I was kind of like, I could hear it, and I was like, Libby, could you just, usually if she plays with it enough and it's kind of maimed, then I will scoop it up and flush it down the toilet. But this one ran under a piece of my furniture. I almost feel like I can see it right now. But anyway, that's my funny stitching story from last night. So I also got a little bit further on this. It just looks so great. I just love it so much. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, so this sun is gonna basically, go all the way down here. I don't know if I'll have to move my hoop to finish the sun or not. It doesn't look like it. And it's just, I'm keeping in mind how big this is. So it's so much smaller than the long duck sampler because it's really going to be this sun and then, whoops, and then finish this cloud over here and then a big moon. And then underneath, the last 2 pages, oh, my nose is running. The last 2 pages are going to be some flowers and a river. So it's going to look really, really nice when it's done. I wish you could really see the nuance of this fabric, the hand-dyed fabric, because it's really, it just gives it a little depth, in the background, other than just white. So yeah, I'm just plodding along really at this point. And there's a couple other projects I want to start that I'm not going to do yet, but they're going to be on black Aida. And I've heard all sorts of nightmares about how difficult it is to work on black. And a lot of people put a white, something white underneath them, like a pillowcase even, or something so that when they're working, because if you have a light here, because I have my neck light, and then something white underneath, then you can see the holes better. So that'll be an interesting new experience when it comes up. Plus, I was in one of the Facebook groups yesterday and people talking about linen and even weave. So apparently even weave, it's one of the smaller hold fabrics, but they say it's easier to work on than linen. Linen is kind of like the ultimate because it's soft and it looks really great when it's done. Even weave is kind of the step right before that because it's linen, I think, is, I'm trying to think of the words, more kind of loosey-goosey, where even weave is very is more structured, a little more structured than linen. So eventually I'll try even weave and see how that goes. And a lot of people I see are doing it with one strand over one square, which is very tiny. I'm sure some people, I know they do, I've seen them talk, they work with a magnifier. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. But maybe my eyes are still good enough to work with a very tiny, tiny stitch, like 28 count, which is what some of the even weave is. So yeah, that's where I am today. And I hope all of you are having a great day. And I will see you tomorrow with hopefully some more progress.